In the beginning there was only chaos, and from that, Gaia was born. Gaia, the earth, in turn gave birth to Uranus. The sky and the earth and the sky became lovers, and from all other life was created. The immediate children of these primordials were known as Titans, the second order of divine deities. Possessing incredible size and strength, they followed Cronus, their leader, who overthrew Uranus, making the Titans the dominant race of deities. Fearing his children would in turn overthrow him, he swallowed them immediately following their birth. His youngest son, Zeus, however, was able to escape this fate, and upon reaching adulthood was able to free his siblings and form the Olympians, the third and final order of divine deities, who realised Cronus's fears and overthrew the Titans after a great war, who were then banished to the depths of Tartarus. Cronus's two nephews escaped exile. However, as due to his great strength, Atlas was forced to hold up the heavens for all eternity. Prometheus, the wisest and most intelligent of the Titans, was able to correctly predict the outcome of the war and sided with the Olympians to avoid the inevitable punishment. Prometheus ultimately received the worst fate, however, as, after bestowing the gift of fire upon mankind, he was chained to a rock where every day a great bird would visit him and feast on his organs, only to have them grow back overnight, so that the process could be repeated over and over again. Often referred to as the Earth Shaker, Poseidon was much more than just the god of the seas. He was also the god of earthquakes, storms, and horses, as well as being the father of the gods, kings, heroes, and monsters. War was a major part of Grecian culture, and so it is no surprise that the Greeks had two deities of warfare. Zeus's son Ares preferred a brutal and aggressive approach to war, and this was reflected in his personality, leading to the god being despised by his peers on Mount Olympus. His sister Athena, however, was well liked and favoured strategy and intellect as tools to win her battles. Aphrodite was the goddess of love, beauty and sexuality, and was considered so beautiful that she was married to the deformed god Hephaestus, so as not to cause jealousy. Despite her marriage, however, she had many lovers, both gods such as Ares and mortals such as Adonis. Due to his great accomplishments, the respect he commanded, and his huge amount of offspring, Zeus was known as the All-Father and assigned all other gods their roles, as well as dividing the world into three parts for him and his two brothers, with himself ruling the skies, Hades ruling the underworld, and Poseidon ruling the seas. As mentioned, Hades was the god of the underworld, and despite modern Western depictions likening him to the Christian devil, Hades was no more malevolent than any other god, and was portrayed more as a passive jailer to the souls of the dead, rather than an evil torturer. Heracles is the most famous of the Greek heroes. Son of Zeus, Heracles is half divine, and as such possessed extraordinary strength, courage, ingenuity, and sexual prowess, with both males and females. Heracles eventually earned immortality and a place amongst the gods, on Mount Olympus. Another of Zeus's demigod sons was Perseus, who was not only Heracles' half-brother, but his great-grandfather, and began the family tradition of slaying legendary monsters when he killed the Gorgon, Medusa. King Theseus was the son of Poseidon, and the mortals Athra and Aegeus, and among his many accomplishments is the slaying of the Minotaur within the labyrinth. Odysseus the Cunning was the legendary king of Ithaca and the hero of Homer's epic poem, The Odyssey. His accomplishments include devising the Trojan horse strategy, blinding and outwitting Polyphemus, the giant Cyclops, and travelling for over 10 years to return to his wife. Cerberus was the three-headed hound of Hades, who guarded the gates of the underworld, and is best known for being the final and most challenging labour of Heracles. Medusa was one of the three Gorgon sisters, all of whom had snakes for hair and a gaze which turned men to stone. After being beheaded by Perseus, the winged horse Pegasus and the giant Chrysaor were born from her open neck. Pegasus would then fly to Mount Olympus, where it would dwell in the stables, occasionally leaving to aid heroes and fight monsters such as the Chimera. Chiron is often held to be the superlative example of a centaur. He was the son of the Titan king Cronus and the foster child of the twin Olympians Apollo and Artemis. It is from these two that Chiron learned to be cultured and wise as opposed to other centaurs who were wild and lusty.